and they're a brand. They call themselves the Grower's Grower. But what we really like is we want to bring you plants that are easy to grow, easy for you to care for, because we just want to make more gardeners. That's what we want.
So, and to introduce Katie Dubois to you, she's a professional. She has been writing this garden, what do you call it? Garden Trends Report for 20 years.
Yeah, well, my mom started my business.
Yes.
And so I've been doing it for the last 10, and I was lucky to come into the business, but I grew up gardening, I grew up around the business, and now I have stepped in and I am bringing you those hot trends and those great plants to make sure that you are up to date. We don't always need a trendy garden, but we want a great garden.
Awesome. And you can find Katie Dubois on her Facebook page, Garden Girl.
Katie Garden Girl.
Katie Garden Girl.
Or on Instagram at KatieGMG.
Great. All right, so we're going to move back, and we'd love to hear from you. If you grow Cottage Farms, any of the plants, we'd love to hear from you. Our testimonial lines are open, 800-600-1556. So this is another new plant that we're sharing with you right now. It's called the Garden Party Hydrangea. $23.40, 4 easy payments of $5.85. Free shipping and handling. M61324 is your item number here. So hydrangeas, classic, right?
Classic.
I had 2 big ones in front of my townhome.
Oh, they are, hydrangeas are America's favorite flower. You know, we love hydrangeas. They have taken over our landscapes. When I go up to Martha's Vineyard every year for a vacation with my husband's family, we're very lucky to do that. And they're a very traditional Cape Cod look, Nantucket look. You know, they're seaside flower. And, you know, we love them because they're beautiful. I mean, look at them. You have to love these big flowers. Now, these are the mop head hydrangea. As you can tell, they grow more in a circular shape. And so these Garden Party hydrangeas are going to give you more flowers. And so, you know, you may have grown hydrangeas before and they haven't given you a full, you know, some people tell me that they've been disappointed by their hydrangeas.
Well, mine didn't bloom a couple years ago.
So you may have a hydrangea that blooms on only old wood, which means that if we get a hard frost here in Pennsylvania in particular, it's killing all of that. All of the flowers, all of the buds.
I didn't know that.
They get killed. These mop head varieties bloom on old and new wood. And so if we do happen to get a frost or if something happens to those old buds, don't worry, you still get the new wood that's blooming, the new stems that are blooming that have a bud on them. So you will get that, you know, if they do happen to bloom on that old wood, you'll get that midsummer bloom, early summer bloom, all the way to frost. This is why these are such long bloomers.
Oh my gosh, see, why
and
didn't I have these?
Older fashioned varieties.
Oh God!
Because they didn't exist. They weren't around, and so the newer varieties of hydrangeas are giving us that more bloom power, that full-on coverage of flowers, and they're going to bloom longer.
Okay, am I going to get one of these colors?
So this is actually one plant. So this plant, I like to call it a magic, especially with my 4-year-old. I tell her these are magic plants because depending on the acidity, I don't want to get too deep into it, but the pH of your soil, your plant will either bloom blue or bloom pink. And you can change the color if you so want. You know, the plants probably will come and their first bloom will be pink because the way that they were growing, we grow them in Alabama in bark. You can see here as they are changing color, they are somewhat of a purple shade. So in between, you've got that nice purple, but if you can see here, I mean, they're starting to turn more of a blue, but if you add more lime to your soil, they'll be pink. If it's a higher acid soil, they'll be blue.
That's so fun.
But look at this. Look at this plant. I mean, that big.
That's huge.
These grow to be about 5 feet tall and 5 feet wide. They are going to be that nice traditional hydrangea in your yard that you were looking for, maybe what you wanted, full of blooms that you see in the pictures. But this is what you get.
I didn't get all that.
Yeah.
How do they come?
So that's another great thing. Cottage Farms is really wanting you to get a very robust plant. And so this is going to be a very big growing plant. You know, in the garden center, this would be an expensive plant. And so this is what you get at home. And again, it's not a choice of the blue or the pink. It depends on how your soil is. The flower will bloom in one of those shades or somewhat in between. Okay,
so how do we choose what kind of fertilizer to use?
So if you want it to be blue, you want a high acid fertilizer.
Okay, do we have that?
So we do these, and you know, hydrangeas want a high acid fertilizer anyway.
Okay.
So our fertilizer is not super acidic that it won't change the color.
Okay.
So we don't want to change the pH of the soil of all of our acid plants. If you actually want to change the pH, you're going to go and get a special acid fertilizer.
Okay, so I would still use this no matter what soil.
You would still use this even if you want
wanted.
pink or blue, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And this is the same as our other fertilizers. It comes in a little pod that you put in your watering can and you water it in. The hydrangeas, particularly in the beginning, they do want some care. They like morning sun and they like dappled dappled afternoon shade.
Okay.
So that's the kind of conditions that they'll love, and they'll produce these big blooms for you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is so fun, right? This is $23.40 for the Garden Party Hydrangea. You will get one beautiful plant. It'll arrive to you when it's supposed to get to you to plant it or take care of it until it's time to plant. M61324 is your item number. It's new and it's 4 easy payments of $5.85. And I tell you, I mean, hydrangeas, they just get big.
Yeah.
Mine never looked like this because it wasn't a Cottage Farms. I'm positive of it.
Or maybe a mop head variety, but definitely these are a different variety. These are than maybe you've had, so they're going to be great. And I do want to say that if you are confused or you're thinking you won't remember how, if they're acid or if they're lime or alkaline, don't worry, we've got it all for you covered here in our growing guide.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, so we may be able to take another look at this. I'm not 100% sure, but we did see it in our first hour together, and that is the 4